Hey everybody. I wanted to share a story about intuition, something that just happened to me over the last week, couple of days, actually, yesterday mostly. As I think about it, it was mostly yesterday. But there's a lot of things that led up to it. I'm coming to you from my cool grid chair, hanging out in my little sanctuary room. There's this beautiful grid on the floor in front of me. I have my dragon in my lap. Dragon energy has been really strong, especially yesterday and today for me. And it's been kind of a beautiful unfolding of something. So what is it? What is it that I want to share with you about intuition and about listening and being present? I'm just going to dive right into it. So on Saturday, in 2 days from now, I was supposed to get on an airplane with my goddaughter, and we were going to fly to Panama City and then fly to Boca del Toro, something like that, and do a retreat that was a turtle research and conservatory expedition kind of a thing. So there's an island where there's a lot of turtle nests. Right now is prime turtle season for nesting and for hatchlings. And so it was going to be really amazing. Tropical, hot, buggy, amazing, right? Ocean, chocolate tour, snorkeling, turtles. Awesome. Like so cool. So cool. Such a great deal. And I was invited to go. So my heart was super excited to spend time with my goddaughter and just kind of see how it would unfold, because I hadn't traveled with her by myself. And I was looking forward to that. But in the preps, here are the preps and the breadcrumbs of the trail that was happening. So I was having a hard time booking parking. And I thought, because normally I travel quite a bit. Last year I flew like 10 times, and every time I went and I parked and I purchased my parking, no big deal. Park the car, go on my trip, come back, get in the car and head home, right? No big deal. But I could not make a reservation for my parking this time. So there's thing one. It's like, okay, but not a big deal, because now I'm traveling with another person. Let's talk, let's figure out how we want to get to the airport. So on Tuesday, we met up and we were working on some different things, but the conversation came back to this trip and preparing for this trip. And we came up with a plan, a beautiful plan. I was going to drive to their house. We were going to ride to a place closer, stay the night, and then get dropped off at the airport first thing in the morning, because I think we needed to be at the airport at like 5 a.m. And it's about an hour and a half on a busy day to get to the airport. So hour and 15 minutes on a not busy day to get to the airport. So we had that plan in place. The next thing is I'm normally packed a few days ahead of time, and it's just last minute getting things situated for what else is coming. So I pack intuitively. I sit with my body, and my body and I have a conversation about what's coming. So that packing process is interesting in and of itself. But I had everything laid out. I knew all the clothes that I needed to bring. I knew all of the toiletries and money and passport, and all that stuff is off to the side. But it was off to the side, and it was laid out and spread out. And I'm kind of a person that I get antsy when things are messy. So I wasn't able to actually pack it though. And I had my clothes kind of put to the side so I could actually sleep in my bed, because originally they were all on my bed. And so I thought, this is interesting. I cannot seem to get those things into my backpack to see how much room I had in my backpack for whatever was remaining. And And I knew that we were taking just our like backpacking backpacks and a carry-on. So we weren't trying to check any luggage because it's just easier that way with the boat transfers and smaller airplane transfers, etc. So that was thing number 2. I could not get packed. Thing number 3, I woke up, I think yesterday morning. I think it was yesterday morning. And I woke up having this dream of getting to the airport and having no cash. No cash. I hadn't put the cash out into the pile yet. So it was like, oh, I need to remember to grab the cash and put that into the pile. But in this dream, I realized I was already at the airport and I had no cash for leaving for this trip, and I was going out of the country. And to top that off, I don't usually have dreams that I can remember. I'm sure I dream, but I'm just not one of those people who actually remembers the dreams. But this was crystal clear. I was freaking out in this dream. So 3 different things on the lead up to what happened yesterday. So we were given the notification that we were going to have this WhatsApp group, and the WhatsApp group was started so that we could all communicate, because there was, I think, 9 of us total that were going on this trip to do this turtle work, along with the people who run the trip. So then we got a notification that said, you're going to get an email, check your email. So the email comes through, read through the email. I happen to be with my goddaughter. Like, that's stunning, right? I'm with my goddaughter, and I hand her the phone and I say, hey, this just came through. And so we're reading it and we're like, okay. And it's talking about there's protests, there's food shortages, there's a potential for a state of emergency to be called. This was Tuesday. Yesterday was Wednesday. So we're like, okay, we'll just hold tight. We'll just see what happens. We're not making any decisions yet. We're just going to let things unfold. Yesterday comes, and then we get communication on the WhatsApp group that says the state of emergency was called. They're checking to see what can we do and what are our options. So there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of conversation that's going on, and potential for getting into different retreats, different packages at different times. And so we're just exploring that. And right at this point, my goddaughter is not actually in the loop for the conversation, but her mom is. So her mom and I are kind of having a little bit of a texting back and forth. And then we get asked, hey, what are you guys going to decide? So I actually reached out to my goddaughter and I said, hey, there's a bunch of stuff going on, and your mom is on the string. Can you see it? And she said, no, I can't see it. And so I asked her, please talk with your mom about what feels right and aligned for you. And she goes, I don't know what to do. And I said, feel into your heart and ask your heart for guidance. And then I reached out to her mom and I said, hey, will you please talk with your daughter about everything that's going on, because you have access to all the details, and to feel into what is right and aligned for us to move forward. No, I'm not the one making the decision on the trip. I was the one that was invited to come, and I was going to be her guardian. So she is not a legal adult yet. She's still under the age of 18, and I was going to have the decision-making authority vested in me. Oh, that's another piece that we were supposed to do on Tuesday, was go and get a notarized letter that was going to transfer the decision-making authority of guardianship from her mom to me for the duration of this trip, just a temporary, limited decision-making authority if anything should happen on the trip and we needed to make decisions in the moment. But when we arrived to meet to go do that, we weren't prepared to actually do that. So that was like the fourth indicator of like, this is interesting. We don't have everything that we need in order to do this. So I just said, it's okay. Like, it's okay. We'll let this unfold. You know, we still had a few days. And then we get this information about this unrest and this area. So come to find out, state of emergency is called. It got called. So yesterday we were told state of emergency is called. And then, you know, there's just kind of a dynamic situation. And going out of the country near this area, we were going to be close to, but not directly impacted by the state of emergency. However, there is a ripple effect, right? So you have this thing called, things start to stop, supply chains start to stop, travel things start to stop, and we didn't know what to expect. So that was yesterday. And our trip we were scheduled to leave in 2 days and then spend 10 days there. So we weren't going to come home for 10 days. So there's, you know, a period of 2 weeks, and there's no guarantees about what's going to happen. So asking her to make the decision, she leaned in and she had the conversation with her mom, and she felt a no, that it was a no to go. And this was her idea, and she was extremely excited on Monday. On Monday, sent me a text in all caps about how she was so excited to go on this trip. And then yesterday afternoon, she made the call and said, I'm feeling like this, it's not the right time. It's not aligned. Things just I don't feel like I'm at peace. And I just thought, how amazing is that? To be able to lean into your intuition, to feel the support of other people, right? She wasn't being pressured to go. It was give her the support, the container, the space to make the decision. I think that we give our children little credit sometimes about how wise they are. Yes, they need structure, they need guidance, but they also need the ability to trust their own intuitive signals. And she was able to do that, to make the decision, and then we made the call. We decided that we were going to cancel the trip. And in all honesty, it brought peace to her mom. It brought peace to her. And it allowed me to be present for something that I wasn't going to be able to be present for over this weekend. She also is going to be present for something that she wasn't going to be present for, which was a graduation of a family member. So now she gets to participate in the things that she wouldn't have been able to participate in had she gone on this trip. Yeah, it was an amazing trip that was planned, but that's the flow of the energy wasn't supporting it in the way that we had aligned with it in the beginning. So things change. And none of us feel bad for the decision. The good news about all of that is, it was an investment. It was a little over $3,000 for this particular trip. And so far we have been able to get refunded for all but about $200 of the trip. So in essence, if I can't get the last remaining couple $100 refunded, I think that is worth the amount of peace that my body is feeling as a result of making that decision. And it was really incredible because, in all truth, this morning, I actually slept longer than I normally do. So my body actually needed to have the nervous system quiet. And I think that's what happened by making that decision yesterday, was the nervous system got to get quieter, because otherwise I was going to be guardianship over a minor in a foreign country with a state of emergency being called, because some people chose to still go on the trip, and it's still an opportunity we could have chose to still go. But we elected to go with what our intuition was telling us, which was no go. So I say that so that you don't feel like you are missing out on something, because in all honesty, if your intuition says don't go, there's a damn good reason why it's telling you not to go. So follow that, listen to your heart, listen to your body, get quiet. In the midst of all of the noise, we do have to get quiet so that we can hear what is in alignment for us. And I just wanted to share this reflection, this real-time experience of the breadcrumbs, the 4 breadcrumbs that had led up to us making the decision. Another piece of it really also is that we were compressed with this 1 week only. I was given an opportunity to shift and go to a different location, Costa Rica, but we would have had to find airfare and get acquainted with all of the information on that trip, and then get special permission to join the other people that were already booked and on that trip and heading to that trip. And so none of that actually felt right. It all felt way better for us to just cancel and to redistribute our resources in different ways. So that is sometimes the divine plan, and I felt like it was a redirect. So know that sometimes when you are, as a train heading down the track, you may all of a sudden go down a different track, and that's okay. It's just pivot. It's a redirect. There's nothing to emotionally be connected and tied to. It just is. And there's always another opportunity for whatever that thing was that you're no longer doing. Maybe there's a different time. Maybe there's a different group of people. Maybe there's a different location. Maybe, we don't know. We don't know. There's just something bigger that's at play. And so I just offer you to have peace with the decisions that your body is helping you decide. Just have the peace. The peace is more powerful than we realize. When our nervous system feels right and aligned, then we move forward. So thanks for listening to the story, and have a beautiful, blessed day.